Hello and welcome to the Corner 3 Show. My name is Alex.
My name's Ross.
And my name is Zach.
And this is the Pacers Show. If you're looking for our special Paul George episode, it's probably above or below this one, but be sure to listen to both. The Pacers are 15-11 right now. They are 5th in the East. There's a lot to talk about because the Pacers are good, and the city is getting really excited about the Pacers. And let's get started with your Corner 3 for this week. Ross, you want to start us off?
Yes, I'm going to talk about Victor Oladipo. Zach's going to follow up with some interesting stuff after that. But first off, Victor Oladipo, most improved player of the year. Ooh. Yes. Has my vote right now. It's him or Drummond. I hate when they pick players that are like second or third year. Obviously, they're going to get better. But Victor, 3 years in the league. Now he's showing up and showing what he really could do. Most improved, all-star berth. Yes. All-star starter. Maybe a stretch. But Victor Oladipo, we've talked about on the show many times about the big trade. We all thought, sure, he's going to get his numbers, but his usage would go up, but his percentages were going to be terrible. But so far this year, he's looked fantastic. All around fantastic. Hitting game-winning shots, being efficient doing so. He had that 11-for-11 game until the end. Ball game, exactly. He actually hits ball game.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Save it.
All right, save it for the Paul George episode.
So anyway, Victor Oladipo, I was going to get a Sabonis jersey. Still may. Probably will.
Probably will. He's awesome.
The Oladipo Hickory jersey is moving up my list of purchase ideas. So, Victor, you rock, man. Thank you so much.
Shout out to Victor Oladipo. He's been outstanding. Zach, do you want to tail off that one?
So I wanted to bring something up on my first part about Victor Oladipo.
It's getting serious.
It's getting very serious.
Got paper.
Got paper out. It's time to go. So I just kind of did a quick search for shooting guard rankings throughout the year. So at the beginning of the year, Hoops Habit had their top 30 shooting guards for the season.
Oh.
So just to start off, where do you think Victor Oladipo is ranked at the beginning of the year?
Probably mid-teens, probably like 15, 14?
17, yeah, I was going to say 17 to 20.
17. So some players that were ranked ahead of Victor Oladipo.
I like this. This is good.
Andre Roberson.
Oh, my God.
Are you serious right now?
He was. And under their
who
list.
did this? Who did this?
This is Hoops Habit.
Hoops Habit.
And then Dion Waiters, which, that could be arguable.
No, Oladipo, come on now.
They have, which a couple of websites have him listed as a shooting guard. So Drew Holiday, Rodney Hood. Wow. Not really.
Not proven.
Danny Green. So there's some names on there. So that's the ranking. Number one, they had at the time James Harden as a shooting guard, 10-point guard shooting guard. Klay Thompson 2, then DeRozan. Interesting, though, if you go through the points per game, Victor Oladipo's third with 23.6 points a game. He's number 8 in three-point percentage, number 2 in steals, and number 6 in assists for shooting guards.
Oh, man.
My argument is Victor Oladipo a top 5 shooting guard in the league?
I'd have to say BL is probably number 4, and then I'd say Oladipo 5.
Yeah, right. So they have.
Who would I be leaving out if I put that 5?
Yeah, what's ranked the 5?
So they have James Harden as a shooting guard.
He's
so they have him as a shooting guard. Then Klay.
Yeah.
Number 3, DeRozan. 4, Bradley Beal. 5, C.J. McCollum.
Ooh, yeah, no,
that's close.
Then after that, it's like Gary Harris, Wiggins, Rodney Hood.
No.
So is he 6?
I'd say he's 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
I mean, the Blazers haven't been that. Excuse me. The Blazers haven't been that great to start off the season. The Pacers have been on this tear. A team that really hasn't had that many home games until this homestand. So, and he's led them to some really big wins. Hit a ton of big shots. This is back-to-back, technically game winners.
We're kind of taking into account career, but we're just talking about this year. Another thing to take into account is, if you look at the East, he's top 3. DeRozan, Bradley Beal, and then if you put him at 6, number 3 is Oladipo.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's been outstanding. I don't think there's any reason he won't be an all-star. I think the question at this time is...
You mean starter?
Yeah, the question at this time, I think, is will he be a starter?
Yeah. Starter. Yeah. I mean, if he was to keep up the way he's playing, hitting the game winners, keeping his percentages up.
Yeah.
People kept saying, is it going to fall off? Is he going to regress back to the mean? But
who are you starting over? In your opinion, fans' perspective with the voting and everything, I can see why.
Probably or Beal.
History, but
yeah, Beal's been solid this year. He just dropped 57 in that game. 51.
Yeah.
No, Beal's been solid. I mean, I think the big thing with the Victor right now is just how much press he's going to get because at the beginning of the season, Zach Lowe had them second to last in league pass rankings. This team was a team that most people thought was
last. Actually.
a couple years away from being exciting. But the win last night we'll talk about against Cleveland was huge, obviously, and now you've got the game against OKC on Wednesday. So a lot of national press is hitting Indianapolis and this Pacers team. So I think if he can perform as well as he did against Cleveland last night, where he was on a tear, there's no reason that game should have been nationally televised.
If you listen to Pacers Sound this morning, Coach Nate McMillan talked about Victor Oladipo being the key to the Pacers being able to play at the pace that they want to play.
Yeah.
Because of him being able to play defense, get out and run and push, he's their linchpin. I was surprised that he used Victor as that player instead of a point guard or someone else who's running the offense, but he feels Victor sets the pace for the team as kind of the leader on the floor in a way with that, getting out and running. And I agree with
I think that, if he has a strong week or strong game against OKC, this little tear he's been on, he's been, as petty as it sounds, every time he's featured on the NBA Instagram is a win for him and win for this organization just to get more press and, to make sure that he's on that all-star team and potentially a starter. My corner three this week is about TJ Leaf. He's just been struggling lately. He hasn't been playing at all. He's had a ton of DNPs, playing very low minutes. The only time he's played double-digit minutes in the past month was against the Knicks in that blowout win that Zach was at. The last time he scored double-digit points was October 24th. He's just not playing well. He's not playing strong. He's not shooting the ball well or shooting it much at all. The month of November, he averaged 7.5 minutes of 2, almost 3 points a game. So he's just not playing that well right now. And it's kind of, it's not concerning yet. But when you look at guys like OG Anunoby, who the Pacers passed up, and a couple of those other players who've been playing well and giving minutes, it's a little bit concerning, but of course we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's still a 19-year-old kid. He's still got a lot of time left, but he's my guy that I'm kind of itching at because especially, last night they had to play Damian Wilkins. They played TJ Leaf 3 or 4 minutes in the first half, and the second half they went back to Wilkins. And that's kind of concerning if you don't have any faith in your rookie at this time.
Get healthy, Glenn Robinson.
Yeah,
please.
We need Glenn right now. We need TJ to, I almost want to send him down to the D League right now. Once Glenn comes back, I wouldn't mind them calling up Poitras and then sending down TJ Leaf just because I just think he needs some run in him. He's not playing, so he doesn't do any good on the bench right now if he's not even going to play.
He's not developing.
Yeah, he's not developing right now if he's not playing. He's putting the work in behind the scenes, but that was my thing that's kind of concerning. But let's get down to the games that have happened this past week in this 6-game homestand. We've got the Knicks game. They went in a blowout, 115-97, and it wasn't even that close. But the Knicks didn't have Porzingis, didn't have Hardaway. Zach, you're at this game. Anything in the game itself that stood out?
Not really. The Knicks were terrible without those two guys. The Pacers pretty much I was rooting for the Pacers to get to 40 points. I even tweeted at one point when the Knicks were making a little bit of a run, darn, we're only up 27. There wasn't much of a game. It's great to see the Pacers win.
Yeah.
I obviously wasn't cheering. I lost my voice over the weekend. But blowout win, the Knicks are just bad. Without Porzingis and Hardaway, they're worse than the Bulls, I think.
Yeah. No,
the Lance make him dance move. When he showed up the rookie, threw his legs 3 times and then right to the rim.
Lance is something else.
It might get brought up later, but that was the thing that got that's what Lance is for, is to get the crowd into it.
Because you're already up 30 and you're like,
the crowd was not into it, but thankfully Lance was able to bring some life to the arena.
Yeah, that's a game. It was a Monday night, and Porzingis and Hardaway. Porzingis, I think Hardaway was already going to be out for that game. Then Porzingis was a later scratch, and so
he's still working on the ankle, I think.
Yeah, so there wasn't a lot of talk about. There wasn't a lot of interest, I bet, in that game. Probably a lot of tickets on the secondary market, but they come back. But the thing I'm glad about is that they that's a game they should have won. They handled them. It wasn't close at all. And they come back on Wednesday, and they play the Bulls.
Trap game.
Game, yeah. And I feel like Sunday's a trap game, too. But they're down early, down 20 points to the Bulls. Just doesn't look – I think 17. But they're
17,
they were just down a lot. Didn't look good. No energy. And they come back and win that fourth quarter. I think they were down 13 or 14 with 5 minutes left. And they still clawed their way back. Victor Oladipo had that steal. And I put here in our outline that it feels like that's a game last year that we make that comeback, but then don't do enough to finish it out. I feel like this year, this team is so together. We'll talk about the chemistry. It was just a great win, and Victor Oladipo hits that big three.
I have nothing to add to that.
Pacers Twitter was saying things at end of the third quarter. Like, I wasn't expecting this team to have a game where they weren't showing up. So to have them, I agree with you. Like, last year's team would have just folded. Maybe they make a run, but they lose by 9. You know, it's like, well, they were close-ish. They made it close. But this year's team, they're like, no. We're better than this.
Yeah.
You know, we're at least going to try. And
last year there was a lot of bad losses. Remember that loss to the Suns at home? Just a lot of bad losses. And when we had a lot of really good wins, like that win on OKC on the road. I think we won in Houston last year. There was a lot of great wins on our resume, but there are also a lot of bad losses. And right now this team is just so together that they are able to make that comeback and actually not just make it a close game, but also come back and win. That's awesome. But then the marquee game thus far this season, I'd probably say last night, 106-102 versus the Cavs. They're as healthy as they have been, the Cavs, in a while, excluding Derrick Rose, obviously, and Isaiah Thomas. But they came in with a 13-game winning streak, all the momentum in the world. And the Pacers, they made a good game out of that Celtics team when they came in with that winning streak. But they took care of business. Oladipo with a huge third quarter. What were your guys' thoughts?
Well, it was, like you said, Oladipo with that huge third quarter. He had 20 points in that quarter. The thing I liked about that game is, I guess because the attendance this year and stuff I thought was so weird. Before the game, LeBron James said, it's going to be a tough game coming into this historical building, talking about Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And then after the game, post-game, he says, this has always been a top 2 or 3 arena, the toughest places to play besides San Antonio, which, it makes me feel good because, I've been to a bunch of those games when he was with the Heat or even the Cavs games. And, the fans do show up because we're we're Indiana. We're the small market team. We want to, make it tough on them and enjoy ourselves. But it was great to see the fans there, the atmosphere. LeBron even saying it was a tough game for them. And him giving credit to the Pacers fans and Bankers Life. I loved Oladipo stepping up and taking over and showing that he is the man, the leader of this team.
Yeah.
That game against the Bulls, then Oladipo missed some free throws at the end, so he did push-ups when he had the Jeremiah Johnson interview. So at the end of this game, before he hit that 3, we were talking about this on the way a little bit earlier, how they were noticing the Cavs were switching on defense every time they do the pick and things. So Oladipo was going to call Miles Turner, but he saw LeBron was on him, so he knew he'd have a bad matchup if he did that pick, because then he'd have LeBron guard him. So he was switched it, had Thad set the pick, so then he got Kevin Love on him for the 3. So just those little things. It's like Oladipo this year
is a smart player,
so far and above what everyone thought we were getting and what he's been in the past, and it's just fantastic.
And, if you didn't watch the game through and through, you might look at that game and say Oladipo dominated that fourth quarter, but I watched the game from start to finish, and Oladipo dominated that third quarter. But that fourth quarter, both teams were terrible. The Pacers at one point were 3 of 19 from the field, and the Cavs were shooting just as bad. Actually, the Cavs were 2 of 10, so the Pacers were able to grab a lot of offensive rebounds and played really solid defense. But Oladipo struggled in those last 5 minutes. I tweeted it from our account, stop settling, because he was taking bad three-point shots in those last 5 minutes, and he made that big one at the end that everyone's talking about against Kevin Love. But I like the resiliency there, that he kept on going back. He was confident. His teammates were really confident. After the game, there were a ton of great quotes. Miles Turner telling, Pat Boylan, and I think something that everyone already knew, that this was the best locker room he's been a part of. Everyone was always bringing energy. This team doesn't have a lot of egos. They have guys who love the game, A, and then B, just want to get better. And I know that's a cliche, but it's true. I mean, this team is full of guys who have been tossed aside, and Oladipo's been traded twice in his young career. Sabonis was a top 15 pick who was traded a year into his career. Miles Turner was behind Paul George for all those years. This team has a lot to prove. Thad, coming here and thinking he was going to contend and then having to deal with a locker room he didn't like. This is all starting to come together. And I think this team is just fun to watch, and this team, the city is falling in love with this team, and it's just nice to see that all culminate in a win. And, last night could have been one of those moral victory games where we, kept it close against one of the best teams, but we pulled it out and won. That was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Kevin Pritchard's sitting in his office just smiling right now.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Two things. One, Indy Star, start covering the Pacers better. Last night after the game, their main headline article was a Zionsville house. I mean, come on.
They don't actually have a specific designated person.
Yeah.
It's Clifton Brown, I think.
They're either doing houses or they got the Colts on the front. It's like really the best thing we got going right now is the Pacers. Cover them.
Yeah. Good segue. I wanted to talk about that a little bit ago. It's great. I think the timing of the Colts,
Yeah, downfall.
where they're going right now, as a fan of Indianapolis, you're watching them just kind of disintegrate. And then the Pacers rise. It's kind of a great time because, when the Pacers had their decline, Peyton Manning was taking the Colts to Super Bowl, so everyone's like, "Oh, let's jump on the Colts," side. So now I feel like it's switching, and I hope that continues, and the attendance will go up, and fans start to go, "Hey, the Pacers, these guys are actually trying."
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, Zach, I didn't mean to cut.
No, I mean, football and basketball are like just different sports as far as like how you approach them. 16 games in football, 82 in basketball. It's hard to get yourself pumped up and going to every Pacers game. But I think exactly what Ross said. I mean, NFL popularity, we were talking about this before the podcast, is already, going down, and the ratings are up for basketball 32%. I think what you'll see here in the second half, and hopefully there's a good showing on Wednesday, if not a win, that a lot more people will be coming to Pacers games.
And I did think I saw something. I could be wrong. They'll probably get called out on it, but I had seen something, and I thought it said even though the Pacers' attendance was down, as far as TV ratings like FSN, they're up 30%.
Yeah. I mean,
so
everyone, I mean, there's great games every night. Even the bad teams are fun to watch. You look at Brooklyn with Russell and now Okafor, which, by the way, if you've been missing our NBA podcast, Ross and I will be doing one this week. We're going to go through all 30. Is there 32 teams or 30?
30.
There's 30 teams in the NBA. We're going to go through all the teams and go through the top headlines, so look out for that one. But let's get down. And also, Corey Joseph, by the way, has been outstanding of late. He played the full fourth quarter against the Bulls. He had 12 points last night.
Except for his brain fart.
Yeah. If you watch
I
that.
didn't see the end.
So LeBron drives baseline. They have this play that they run a couple times at crunch time every game. He drives baseline and throws the pass as he's flying out of bounds. And Corey Joseph just completely falls asleep.
It's kind of like the Stuckey play against Corey
I was
Joseph.
about to say.
Every now and then he has a little bit of...
No, but he's been solid, and actually it leads us right into some of our news. So Darren Collison didn't play I don't think he played maybe a few seconds in the fourth quarter last night, but his knee has been bothering him all season. Remember, he talked about after that big breakout game versus the Timberwolves he had that, his knee has just never been right all season, and now it's finally getting healthy. We have a question from Zach Grinsley, one of our loyal fans. Shout out to Zach. Looks like Collison could be injured or at least limited short term. Do you think the offense's pace and efficiency will suffer if Corey Joseph has to start a game or two?
As a person that was wanting Corey Joseph to start at the beginning of the year, and I mean, I've always liked Collison, but I thought Corey Joseph would be the better starting point guard by the end of the year. I actually think it does suffer. There's two different styles of play, really. Darren Collison is a fast-paced, push it. He can definitely hit the three-pointer and the jumper, drive, dish. Corey Joseph isn't the same type of player. He's not going to sit there and excuse me, I feel like my voice is going. He's not going to sit there and wait for the picks to come off of Miles Turner like Collison does. He's going to try to do his own thing because he's a bigger guy.
Yeah, he attacks the rim.
He can attack the rim. So I think the style of play, I don't think it's going to be that much of a loss, but I will think if he does have to sit a couple games, we will see a difference between the pace of the game.
No, I was going to say pace may suffer. I agree with you, Zach, on that because he is a different style of point guard. But I don't think efficiency is going to suffer. I think we've talked many times about having Corey Joseph on this team. When's the last time we've had a backup point guard where you feel super confident in? You'd rather him start sometimes over the starter. So Collison out, that does stink because his team's rolling. But Corey Joseph, fantastic player. I love him on the team. I hope he stays long term. We'll see if the injury is actually serious. Sorry.
I guess the answer to that would be the last time you felt confident when their backup would be Darren Collison.
Yeah,
behind George Hill.
Yeah, no.
So
good call. That was 2010.
Yeah,
2011.
Yeah, whatever it was, the year he got Dwayne Wade elbow, Darren Collison.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, that'd be the last time they had confidence in their backup point guard. I'd say is with Collison behind George Hill. Moving on. Is yours recording good? We good?
No, he's good.
All right, we're good. I mean, they don't care if we say this on here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. We're talking about are we going to talk about Miles Turner?
I just say that
Alex had a nice rant in our unaired episode about. We've talked about it many times about Miles Turner's height and lack of post ability and post presence. How he likes to flash out to the three and not really bang down low Like we'd like our bigs to bang down low, like Sabonis does.
Yeah.
When you see a player like that, you're like, oh, if Miles did that, he's a little taller, more athletic. We could have this kind of player, and he doesn't really. He shies away from contact. He fades. He flashes out to the 3-point. Other thing about Miles Turner I thought was interesting. So I've read that he didn't hit his growth spurt until later in his basketball career. So that's why he was kind of trained as a guard, as a shooting guard. So that's kind of, I guess shooting guard, small forward type player. So he's more used to the pick and pop, the shooting, the driving, not the post presence. So that may be a little bit of why he shies away from it, but I think also is his mentality. He's not the kind of guy who wants to bruise down low.
Yeah, this is Alex. I'm back. Let's just get into what's next on our docket.
Well, it's hot or not, but we kind of just talked about Victor and Corey Joseph.
Yeah, I mean they both been really playing really well of late, and I mentioned how TJ hasn't. Any stories from Turner's block? Just in the block while you were there, because Zach, of course, was there on Monday night.
Well, I was at the Turner's block on Monday night. I was clapping.
Hey, Turner's block, keep it PG. By the way,
that I was gonna say they did keep it very clean after the letter that everybody got. But
ooh, a little insider information here. We got there was a letter. Turner's block just got to keep
respect.
Keep it 100.
I guess there was some sort of scouting or something going on by the NBA. They were looking at the fan sections.
Oh, really?
They're doing for all the teams to rank them and stuff.
Huh.
So we were warned ahead of time to try to do our best during that game. Of course, I didn't do much cheering. It was more of me just kind of clapping along with no voice and everything.
Being a crazy person?
No.
So no, okay. Ross, do you have any Pacers trivia?
Sure. I had some on steals last time when you lost my audio, so we're not going to do that though. I thought we would do 2010 Pacers team trivia. We'll just some random stuff. That was Paul George's rookie year. Ooh. I'm sorry, I said his name. Agent 13's rookie year. We'll get into that on the next episode. But I don't know, just looking through. Let's just go memories of that team. So that was the year Bulls series. Pacers the 8th seed against the Bulls, number 1. Mm-hmm. Derrick Rose was still his amazing MVP self. Pacers actually won 2 games. One game against the Bulls, but everyone left.
They were close.
Yeah, everyone left that series going, "Oh, this team could be something." So, let's go through. Can you name the roster from that team? That was 7 years ago now. Tyler Hansbrough, that was his second year. Josh McBuckets, yeah.
Danny Granger.
Alex said Josh McRoberts. Good job. Danny Granger, yep, obvious, nice, good.
Brandon Rush.
I'm back.
Brandon Rush was there, yeah. Second year, nice. Keep going.
So was that Solo's first year?
Solomon Hill.
No.
Solomon Jones was there, yeah. That was his 4th year.
Was
Solomon
Harrison
Hill was
there?
not there.
David?
No, he was long gone.
Was Hibbert?
Roy Hibbert, yes, correct.
Oh, the guy we signed
Roy Hibbert
and then
second year.
Dropped AJ Price.
AJ Price was there his first year.
How many do you have left?
You got what? You got another rookie from Paul George draft class. Come on, he's on the team right now.
Oh, Lance Stevenson.
Lance Stevenson, very good.
Lance.
Looking through. You got a Pacer all-time great. He was the oldest player on the team. Center, 6'10".
Jeff Foster.
Thank you. Point guard. Who was the point guard of that team? Wasn't AJ Price? It was
DC.
Darren Collison was a starter. The backup was
not George Hill.
Travis Ford.
TJ Ford.
TJ Ford. That's
he
what
was
I meant.
the backup still?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
He was there. He was on the
I
team.
got it right.
He's on the team. So continuing that trade, who else was on the team? Shooting guard.
Dunleavy.
Nice. Good job. Was he Paul George?
This was the year Frank Vogel took over, right?
Yeah, and mid-season Frank Vogel took over. You got 2 players left.
Are they like bench warmers?
Yeah, they're bench warmers.
Oh.
You got one old guy. I think he retired after this season.
I'm just looking at your screen. It's James Posey.
Yeah, James Posey from the Celtics. The other one was a D-League favorite. He actually started for Denver when Carmelo was there because he just plays defense and can't score at all.
Dante Jones.
I thought we said Dante Jones.
No, you said Solomon Jones.
Yeah, you said
Solomon. I remember we had a lot of Joneses on the team that year.
Yeah.
No, that was the year we had our Jim O'Brien as the coach.
Jim O'Brien, assistant for the Philadelphia 76ers.
He started 17 and 27.
That reminds me of Turner's block. That was pretty fun. There was a guy. They had a trivia question. Who was the coach in the '90s that got the Pacers like the first playoff in a certain amount of years or whatever?
He said Jim O'Brien.
Yeah, he was like Jim O'Brien. He was drunk.
Yuck.
Honestly.
No, don't ever bring up Jim O'Brien.
Let's go into our Twitter mailbag and our hottest takes.
We're gonna go to our Twitter mailbag.
We'll talk. Zach and I can run the show
because
it's fine.
Alex continues to have audio issues.
I should just. We don't need.
You know what? With all these with all these tweets here. We should rank these 1 to 10.
How
on
hot it
take,
is?
on
how
hot
fire
take
it
it
is?
is.
Yeah, because they're not all of them are questions.
Yeah.
They're more just like
So
thoughts.
we'll just do that. We'll rank them. So the first one comes from Lions Den 1997. His tweet is, "This is a top 5 team in the East and might add something at the trade deadline."
First off, his Twitter handle is Lions Den, but his name is Ride With My Pride. That's okay. Nice. Okay. So this is a top 5 team in the East and might add something at the trade deadline. Top 5 in the East. Right now they are actually top 5 in the East, right? Yeah. So Celtics, I'm looking at your screen, Celtics, Raptors, Cavs. Ooh, that team is, I can't see, Pacers, Bucks are up there. Pistons, sorry, I didn't mention the Pistons. Top 5 in the East? Yes, they are top 5 in the East. How hot is it? 1 through 5. Give that a 4.
4?
3 to 4, yeah.
3 to 4?
It's pretty average. Team is looking good. I have to agree with him.
Okay. Some other tweets. All these are not hot takes, but we're just going to read through them because everybody sent them in, so we'll get some credit. APIes21 says the composure in the end of the game was amazing. Also, Victor Oladipo is money.
Cash. Ball game. Sorry.
Some more love shown to the Pacers from Fine Julie. This Pacers team is for real. Everyone shows an electric energy in there, and never say die.
Nice.
Hashtag.
Nice.
All right, here we go. Rick Wright, 46052. For the first time since Reggie Miller TNT, the Pacers have a legitimate star in Victor Oladipo. This team that refuses to give up.
He said legitimate closer.
Well, on my paper, it's cut off, so.
Oh, he said legitimate closer, which is a little bit of shade thrown at Agent 13, especially the ball game commercial.
You know what? Because it is true. He is a closer, unlike Paul George. I'm going to say that's not too controversial. That's a 2 on the fire rating for me.
No, I agree with you.
So, second, Paul George.
We'll have a nice long show about Paul George come up. We can talk about that in more detail. Oh, he's back! Kind of, he's back. Okay, continue.
Next one up.
Austin.
Yeah, you can go through these.
I'll do a couple.
Because mine are cut off. So
Austin Pap Rocky 1. He just said Indy's better than Cleveland.
I get a 7.
I mean, they won that game, but
yeah,
not
get a 7.
It's 7-game series.
Go ahead and read this next one for me, Ross.
Really joshin'. People keep waiting for them to take a step back, them being the Pacers, or slump, but they might be waiting till next Christmas for that. So he's saying this team's legit for all year. Next Christmas is. What, we're going to fall off next year?
Yes, we are legit, though.
Yeah. Sorry.
Then we have the Grill Chrism 13, Chris M13. Victor Oladipo, hashtag MIP, most improved player. We talked about this earlier.
I agree with you, Chris. Thank you. Fantastic.
Is yours working, Alex? Still not working. So, this is me and Ross still.
We'll figure it out for the PG podcast.
Here you go, Ross.
This is the name you messed up, though. You should say this one. He said you got to come to Argentina to learn how to actually say names. And what was the some kind of carne asada, whatever.
I can't remember because I don't speak Spanish. All right, here we go.
Gaston. Sorry. Well, how do you say it in Hispanic?
Gaston.
Spanish. Sorry.
Anyway.
That's bad. I'm really sorry. I apologize.
From Pacers Argentina, this Pacers team will be an NBA champion with the lowest attendance in history. That's NBA champion. That's like 8 on the hot scale.
That's a hot take. And that's not a hot take with lowest attendance in history. As we say, Pacers fans, you have 3 games left in your homestand. Let's go to a game, have fun, have some Sun King, enjoy the game. Go Pacers.
The next one we got is coming from Greg Shota. Saw a big man lineup with both Sabonis and Turner out there for a while. Don't know about the numbers, but I liked what I saw.
And you should, because that is the future for the team.
You know, let me ask you this. Depending on how the season's going, is Sabonis going to be on the bench all season, come with Lance?
Yes.
Even if
unless Thad gets hurt
just
or traded
starts
or something.
playing like trash.
Thad won't, so no.
I'm just saying. Oh, my gosh. Here's the hot take. Here we go. From
lies. This is lies.
Oladipo. Oladipo is much more clutch than Reggie Miller.
He changed his handle to something Oladipo 31. So he's like combining the two. This is a lie and blasphemy.
It's 10 on the hot take.
Yeah, no. It's very hot because it's not true, but I appreciate the optimism of this year's team.
That's right. And then last but not least, Matt Stats 89, Eastern Conference Finals.
That is not out of the question. That is actually in the cards. I mean,
I don't know. For me, I think that's like a 7 for me. I think that's a pretty hot take.
Boston,
I can't see
Boston, Cleveland are in the way. Okay, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but
yeah, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, Ross.
I am definitely drinking the Kool-Aid.
He's drinking a lot of Kool-Aid lately.
We just want to finish the show without Alex.
Well, he can hand him the mic. He can round it up.
I'll just here. Let's talk about what's next here. We've got the game on Sunday. It's a trap game,
Which Andrew Adams 11 is going to.
Yeah, shout out to
Contest
Andrew Adams
winner.
11. We'll probably have more giveaways the rest of the season. We might have a Sun King gift card from our friends at Sun King. # sponsored.
Mic drop. Not.
So check that out. It's a 5 o'clock game, but the Denver's good, even though they don't have Millsap or Nurkic or Jokic. I mean, fourth in the East. That's a good team. Then it's the game you've all been waiting for: the return of Agent 13, Paul George, to Bankers Life Fieldhouse in the beautiful city of Indianapolis. Make sure to listen to our special podcast right after this to get a full breakdown of that. But Ross, something he wants to say?
I want a packed house. I had a friend ask me today, are you going to, well, we're going to get into this, I guess, later. Are you going to boo? Listen to the next show. We'll talk about this in more detail. I just want the place packed. I'm pumped for it.
I
Zach
feel
and
like
I are
it's
going.
packed. If
We'll
it's,
be there.
I think it's gonna be packed because it's my wedding anniversary and I'm not going to dinner that night.
I
I'm going to the
cannot
game.
believe you got.
Hey, Pacers fans know I'm
That's
dedicated.
how dedicated he is, man. Because that
tells you one thing. I married the right woman.
wow. I guess.
Wow, that just took wow. Okay, let's just review what just happened. He admitted that he is going to the Pacers OKC game during his anniversary.
Yep.
And then he said it's because he married the right woman.
She's understanding.
That is some math there that you can't get taught in calculus.
That's coming from the guy that's single. All right, come on.
Did
now.
she say no? It's fine or it's
was-
okay? Did
it's
she use
more
one of those
like-
short words?
She gave me like this look. You know that look you
I
get.
don't
when
know
you're
what
married.
that look is.
You know what that look is.
That look that's
And
like.
I was like, you got to realize this is the biggest game of the season.
And she's not the biggest part of your life?
She's got to work that day, so
See, this is not going to win you any points.
hey,
You don't have to worry
hey,
about points.
I've already got this covered. Okay, so
So we're just gonna have to like stay there until what time does she fall asleep? Because you're in trouble.
I'm
It's
not
already in trouble.
I've
You're
already got
in
her a
trouble.
gift. We got dinner plans.
What did you get her?
Well, that's private.
She doesn't listen to the show. What did you get her?
I don't care what she listens to the show.
Oh,
We have an audience.
ooh, that's
Keep it
move on.
classy.
I don't want to hear it. Nope.
I'm kidding. I just wanted to start
What's
some
her
drama.
faith? Martha might tell her. Martha
would tell her.
Mays.
But Martha's waiting for you though.
Yeah. Is she? Is she though?
Oh, she's totally waiting for you.
Is she though?
She is. What's that?
She's never made any of the live shows despite.
She's been,
really.
she's been in a couple.
Are you sure? I don't think she did.
That's the end of this episode.
Okay, last we got the Detroit game. Hey, Jake Masters, tell your team to show up on when you play the most fun team to watch in the NBA because last night was an embarrassment. I'm sorry. No one was at the Caesars Palace.
By the end of this week, is it a 6-game win streak? Right now it's 3.
Yes. Oh, I just turned your mic on and off. Check to see if it's still working. Yes.
I'm gonna say 5-1. I'm gonna say 5-1. I'm not
Okay.
gonna say which game we lose, but
Ooh,
I
I
say
like
we're gonna
that.
be 5-1.
All right. So that does it for this episode of the Corner 3 Show Pacers edition. But I think the episode I've been waiting for, I think the episode we've all been waiting for because we haven't really touched on it much.
No. Nope.
This is the end-all, be-all of Paul George podcast trade revisited. We're going to break down Paul George. If he listens to this podcast, it might be positive or negative. I don't even know at this point because we haven't recorded it. But I wouldn't listen to it if I was him because we're about to just get inside his head.
We're gonna do it.
We're going to do it.
We're gonna do it.
We're going to do it. Ross, where can they find us?
Well, sorry, that was weird. Twitter, Instagram. Those are the only two that I mentioned because Zach does the rest.
That's right. Obviously, if you're watching this, YouTube, like and subscribe, SoundCloud, Stitcher,
Stitcher.
we're on Stitcher,
Stitcher.com/corner3.
and I think I said everything.
Yeah, that's it. So make sure to listen to this episode. Again, we have a fun episode with JJ, Jeremiah Johnson of Fox Sports Indiana, and Pat Boylan of 1070, the Pacers radio broadcast. If you haven't listened to that, it's still relevant because we talk about a whole bunch of different stuff. We talk about...
Did you say something else?
Yeah. Peace. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll be back.
See ya. That was good.